How can Coach Prime in Colorado re-enter the race for the Big 12? Obviously, a big win last Saturday over Iowa State. We've talked a lot about it. We think that win can really jumpstart a lot of things with this team that we've been waiting to see more from. Of course, the real answer is win. Just win, and you'll re-enter the Big 12 race naturally. But what do they need to do on the field, Scotty, to re-enter the race? I can start if you want, or you can go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, to answer your question, win. End of episode. No, stop. I mean, they got to win, though. They got to win. That's actually my answer. They got to win in two phases to me.
Okay.
They got to win on third down, and they got to win the turnover battle. Mm-hmm. I'll start with third down. Third down, this offense has been pretty efficient. 44% on third down for this Colorado offense so far this year, which is fourth in the Big 12, only behind teams like Utah and Texas Tech and TCU, all who have strong, explosive offenses. And Caden Salter himself is a big reason why Colorado's offense has been so efficient on third down. Third downs this year, Caden Salter, Colorado's quarterback, 67% completion percentage, 6 total touchdowns, 5 passing, 1 rushing, 0 turnovers, 185 passer rating on third down. That's the money-making down. That's where games are won and lost. And offensively, if you can extend drives, that's how you win games. Defensively on third down, if you can get the offense off the field and give your offense more opportunities, that's how you win games. It was the biggest reason why, maybe not the biggest reason why, it was one of the biggest reasons why Colorado was able to upset number 22 Iowa State on Saturday. Colorado was 7 of 15, Denver 50% on third down, and Iowa State was stifled on third down, even with Rocco Beck at quarterback. 2 of 12 on third down for Iowa State on Saturday. That was a big reason for that result. And the other one I mentioned, winning the turnover battle. Colorado got its first takeaway on Saturday since week 2.
Crazy.
That is 5 games in between takeaways. And obviously it was a massive takeaway. Interception by Toffee Byard, who had a damn cast on his hand, bruised his hand badly earlier in the game. Honestly, I want to say maybe the drive or series before he made that big interception. So that obviously turned the tide of that game. Go back to TCU a few weeks ago. The biggest reason Colorado lost that game is because of 3 first-half interceptions by Caden Salter. Without those, it probably win that game.
Sure.
So if this Colorado defense can continue to take the football away, if Caden Salter can continue to protect the football and be efficient on third down, that right there is how Colorado can get back in this Big 12 title race.
I agree with you on turnovers. I mean, you got to start turning the ball over more. Robert Livingston talked about that this week when we spoke to the coordinators, saying that has to become our superpower.
Yep.
And maybe that Tawfiq Byard pick is the one that kind of jumpstarts them. I'm going to go to the running game, though. Both sides of the ball. You need to be better at running the football. You need to be better at stopping the run. Really, it's just buy-in, I think. It's buying into this identity that you've started to form for yourself. And that goes to Pat Shurmur. That goes to Caden Salter. That goes to the offensive line, the running backs. And it goes to the defensive linemen, too. Right now, Colorado is second to last in the country in rushing yards against per game. That's just not going to – you're not going to be able to re-enter that race if that stays in that department. You're going to have to get better there at stopping the run. You know, they're going to get some injuries back, it seems like, after this bye week, and gosh, do they need them up there.
For sure.
They really got thin, but that was a real stand-up performance from that defense, especially in the, you know, they did allow 170 plus from Abu Sama, but overall, you did handle the run pretty well. It does have to be better, though. And you have to run the ball better. You're only 14th in the conference in rushing yards per game. You can talk about this being the identity and all that, but in the Big 12, it's got to be like a superpower, to use Robert Livingston's phrase. You have to be able to run the ball, at least, you know, getting up to close to 200-plus yards a game. That's when you become a really dominant Big 12 team. I mean, the teams up there, that's what they do. Utah, BYU, Texas Tech, West Virginia's up there, but ASU is up there as well. Cincinnati's up there as well. Those are probably the contenders right now, and if you want to re-enter that race, it pretty much comes down to you got to stop the run like Texas Tech, BYU, ASU, and those teams are doing, and you got to start running the ball like that. You got to control the game more, too, the pace of the game. And maybe thirds down does kind of play into that. The turnovers, this is all kind of cyclical. This all kind of feeds into each other. But it's also just buying into that identity more because they did have an identity crisis early on in the year. It's just you got a better time when you decide to throw the ball. You got to be more manageable down in distances. And if that happens, you'll run the ball better and you'll re-enter this race.
I think one of the things we have to see from this Colorado football team coming out of the bye is an improved run defense. To your point, 2 of the next 3 teams that Colorado plays, Utah right after the bye, they got Arizona after that, and West Virginia after that. Utah and West Virginia, like you just mentioned, are 2 of the top 4 rushing teams in the Big 12. And on paper, Colorado has no business losing to West Virginia, even on the road. But if you allow them to get in the third and short and run for 200-plus yards, they're going to be very live to win that football game. So that, I think, has to be the biggest, like I said, thing that you can point to for improvement for this team pre-bye and post-bye week. That run defense has to improve. And maybe it's as simple as they found something with Jeremiah Brown at linebacker alongside Reggie Hughes. Maybe it's just this defensive line, which has been ravaged by injuries this year, just getting a little bit more healthier after the bye. And maybe it's just a combination of both of those things.
Yep.
So I trust Robert Livingston, defensive coordinator, kind of get this thing figured out because he sees the problems, right? He's talked about he wants his defense to get the opponent to try to play with their left hand, with their kind of second best shot. And allowing teams to just run for damn near 200 yards a game is just going to make it too easy on them.
Yep.
So you got to stop the run, and hopefully that will lead to the sack production that we've kind of been waiting on and looking for. Bottom of the conference for Colorado in sacks this season, but I think that kind of goes hand in hand with their inability to stop the run. So I think those are 2-3 really good points. You got to win on third down, man. You got to win the turnover battle, and you got to stop the run while continuing to improve on your own rushing game.
I think that's the most encouraging thing to come from what we just talked about. All 3 of those things can be related.
Yes.
And one can very easily fix the other issues.
Right.
If you fix one of those things, turnovers and just turnovers.
For sure.
Steal possessions away, teams just aren't going to be able to run the ball on you as much, and you'll have more opportunities, clearly. You convert third downs, you're keeping the other team on the bench, and you're able to obviously keep on driving down the field. And, of course, you're running the ball is all tied in with that. So this team is close.
Yes.
Again, they are close. And as Coach Prime has said multiple times, this is not a bad football team.
Nope.
Save from the Houston game and maybe the fourth quarter against TCU, this team has competed in almost every quarter, every half, every game that they played so far this year. And they clearly have the talent. We know they have the talent.
For sure. And they got even more talent coming in because that win on Saturday against a top 25 Iowa State team with a handful of priority targets and recruits in the building could really be the turning point for this program potentially in this 2026 recruiting class. Obviously, Preston Ashley was in the building. Ronnie Colton, Gavin Mueller, DeMonte Chico Timms, a handful of other guys were in the building for that upset win over Iowa State on Saturday. And the reaction from a few of those guys coming out of that game were what you want to hear as a Colorado football fan. Preston Ashley, talked to him this week. Go check it out on the DNVR.com for the diehards. Make sure you become a diehard right now. If you're not a diehard right now, what are you doing? Become a diehard right now. But talked to Preston Ashley this week, and he said, listen, I'm as locked in can get. Like, me and Coach Prime overly locked in, and his goal is to help bring Coach Prime a national championship here at Colorado. Rodney Coleman also said that he is 100% locked in, a 4-star linebacker in this class, both of them. Him and Preston Ashley, 4-star. Gavin Mueller said something similar. He just picked up an offer from Auburn today.
Too,
Recently picked up an offer from Alabama as well. But he doesn't seem fazed by that. He had a quote recently that said, listen, these new schools who are offering me are just realizing what Colorado saw in me from the jump. So as big as that win was for Colorado over a top 25 Iowa State team last week on the field and for this current iteration of this team, it was even bigger for the future of this program, of this team on the recruiting side of things.
100%. And I can't remember who it was, but there was a recruiter that also said, who visited recently this year, they're very close to being really, really, really good.
Yeah.
And that's, this point in the season that we're in right now with this bye week, there is such a tremendous opportunity in front of Colorado in terms of this season and the future. You could really prove a lot of people wrong and, of course, turn your season around, but you could really just completely blast off the trajectory of this program. I mean, this recruiting class is already much further along than we have been the previous 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
The portal. They're going to hit the portal like they always hit the portal. It's going to be hopping. But you could help change some minds and convince some blue chippers in this high school recruiting class, to further kind of reset the culture, reset the standard here at Colorado. So
for sure.
We do this every day during the week, 5 days a week here on this YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We'll see y'all soon.